We have 5 domains of the Security Plus. The latest designator of the CompTIA Security Plus is SY0-701. I believe when I came in, I might have got the old 2 or the old 3, or version 2 and version 3 actually. And it's changed over the years many times, depending on the industry, depending on things happening in the cyber world. But this version has 5 domains. Every domain has a certain percentage of questions available on the test. The CompTIA Cybersecurity Plus contains 90 questions. You have 90 minutes to complete it. Multiple choice and performance. There may be some labs. There's a handful of lab things where you have to click on certain things and do the sequence right. The passing score is 750 out of a scale from 100 to 900. Domain 1, general security concepts. Domain 2 is threats, vulnerabilities, and mitigations. Domain 3 is security architecture. Domain 4 is security operations. That is a huge one. That contains most of the bulk of the information. I think that's 30% of the exam, security operations. And we take 2 weeks to teach that and go through that material because it's so large. And then lastly, number 5, security program management and oversight. This is kind of the realm that I live in now as far as my job. But each of these concepts, each of these domains are extremely important. In this course, we're going to go through each one and learn the definitions, the concepts, the scenarios, and basically the information you need to understand for each domain in order to pass this exam. The first part is general security concepts. It's only 12% of the exam. So out of the 90 questions, it's relatively the smallest portion of the exam. So you may expect maybe 8 questions on the exam around this general security concepts. It's probably the easiest, and we're going to take it easy with this on the first week, obviously. But it is still important. It's a lot of definitions. It's a lot of concepts. There may be scenarios where they'll say, in this scenario A, what is the concept of security that we are speaking of? And we're going to get to the questions and practice tests at a later time. But right now, we're just going over each portion of the domain. In this domain, we have compare and contrast various types of security controls. We have summarized fundamental security concepts, change management processes and the impact to security, and using appropriate cryptographic solutions. Cryptography is a little complex. My word of advice, take your time with it. I know I struggle with cryptography because there's a lot of different acronyms, there's different words. You got to try to wrap your brain around the sequence of events that happens around cryptography. But we're going to hold your hand. We're going to get you through it. So don't sweat any of this. We're just going over the domains right now. We got you. Section 2 is threats, vulnerabilities, and mitigations. This is 22% of the exam. So it's almost double the first portion. This goes into a little bit of the hacker realm, like the motivations of hackers and black hats, some of the methods they use, not necessarily tools. There may be some touch on tools, but basically this is all, again, more conceptual, more theory. After this section, you will not know how to hack anybody. It doesn't teach you the step-by-step how to hack. Those are other certifications we're going to get to at a later time, or you can search Pentest Plus and all these other ones. But it gives you general knowledge of methodologies of black hats, how to defend in certain situations, what you should be looking for. And is again, a lot of this is conceptual. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be ready to absorb information, retain information, and you should be good to go. For this section, we have common threat actors and motivations, common threat vectors and attack surfaces, explain the various types of vulnerabilities, given a scenario, analyze indicators of malicious activity, and mitigation techniques used to secure the enterprise. So that's what we're covering there. Security architecture is a third domain. It's only 18% of the exam, definitely a nice chunk, a nice portion of the exam. Some of the features are security implications of different architecture models. We have applied security principles to secure enterprise infrastructure, compare and contrast concepts and strategies to protect data, and explain the importance of resilience and recovery in security architecture. So we're going to go through all of these. We're going to go through the concepts in each of these sections. Again, we're just doing a basic review of the 5 domains. Don't get too excited right now because we haven't even started. All right, this is the big one. I told you, security operations is 28%, almost a whole third of the exam. And as you can see, there's 9 subsections of this. So we're going to take 2 weeks for this because it is important. It's a huge chunk of the exam. And again, as far as breaking into cybersecurity and maybe your first potential position, this is the realm that you may mostly be living in right here. Because if you're securing stuff, you're conducting security operations. Probably why this is such a huge section, because most of the work that somebody with a security plus is on the career path to conduct lies here. So given a scenario, apply common security techniques to computing resources. Explain the security implications of proper hardware, software, and data asset management. Explain the various activities associated with vulnerability management. Explain security alerting and monitoring concepts and tools. That's huge. There's plenty of cybersecurity positions where you're just monitoring and you're the first line of defense of an incident. Something happens, you have the monitoring tools, you get the alert, and you got to do something. So this is definitely an important section. Given a scenario, modify enterprise capabilities to enhance security. Given a scenario, implement and maintain identity and access management. Explain the importance of automation and orchestration related to secure operations. Explain appropriate incident response activities. And given a scenario, use data sources to support an investigation. So these are, again, this is a huge section. We're going to really go in on this. Just buckle up, because we got this. Don't fret. I'm trying to help you. If you're looking at this and you think it's too much, trust me, it's not. You're going to get it. We're going to be good. And then the last section is security program management and oversight, 20% of the exam. We're going to summarize elements of effective security governance, explain elements of the risk management process. Risk management is huge in government. There's plenty of positions for risk management. That's the field that I'm working in now. Explain the processes associated with third-party risk assessment and management. Summarize elements of effective security compliance. Explain types and purposes of audits and assessments. Those are huge. And given a scenario, implement security awareness practices. So 20%, another huge domain. We're going to get into all these things. But again, mostly conceptual, mostly definitions, mostly you have to understand scenarios and the reasons why things have to be done a certain way given a scenario. We're going to get to all that.